So, here it is. Tom Clancy's Wildlands. Ubisoft's open world nonsense. Again, I have to reiterate, this is the fucking fifth open world this month. They're all the fucking same. Look at this shit. Here is Gerudo Desert, here is Meridia, here is Nia's Desert, here's the desert planet from Mass Effect, and here is this game's desert. Christ, I thought I was playing original games. Turned out we've got another Unit Z on our hands. It's just an asset flip, reskinned 5 different times. I know how Jim feels now. So it's Ubisoft's turn, and like all other Ubisoft open world games, it's what you'd expect. No originality or structure, just random radio towers, enemy bases, capture points and collectibles just vomited onto the map. All higgledy-piggledy.
So all in all, complete flatline. I hope you're satisfied, Ubisoft, because you've destroyed sandbox games. Homefront The Revolution didn't manage that. Merely bad sandboxes at least throw the decent ones into sharp relief, but you did it by grinding them out month after month until they were nothing but tedious to-do lists with all the bumps sanded off. We were like school kids finding a dead dog behind the playing field. We were having a great time poking it with a stick and saying it was Lee Drummond's girlfriend, but you were the kid who took it too far and ruined everybody's fun. You picked up the dead dog and put it on your head and chased us around with it until the stomach burst and now everyone stinks of rotten half-digested chappy.
Yeah, so story is the same as every other Tom Clancy game. Stop terrorist crime syndicate in random native, potentially Middle Eastern country with perfect American idiots. Main missions, check. Side missions, check. Collectibles, big fucking check, because it's an open world Ubisoft game! The setting is some random dirt patch of the arid variety, full of tumbleweeds and cactuses, and oh shit, is that a dragonfly? Dragonflies are cool. Sparks is a dragonfly and he's cool. You know, on the topic, I really do love insects. I don't know what it is, but I've always enjoyed their creepy yet cute design, like in My Little Pony. Yeah, Twilight, you're cool. I mean, you're purple like me, and you got a horn and can cast magic or whatever. But the fucking changelings, they're ponies but part insect. And look at this face. How can you not want to hug this adorable little thing and want to kiss and serve their badass queen and be part of her hive mind? Even in Starbound, I play as the modded race the Vespoids, a modded race that lets you play as a giant wasp girl. And again, how could I not roleplay as a drone that made this giant ass hive for my queen, as you can spawn NPCs that are dressed as bees? Or, in Overwatch, when I'm playing D.Va, what's my skin of choice? Beaver, of course. Even drew myself in the black and yellow rubber suit. Even Dragger has forced me to dress up like a bee. Now, you might be asking, what the fuck has this got to do with anything in this video? And you've got a fair point. This is a review, and therefore you don't need to hear about my insect fetish. But it ties into this game, as this game is an insect-themed Metroid game. Not just a Metroidvania. Oh no, a true, real Metroid game like AM2R. And it's really fucking amazing. Like, really damn good. As the title suggests, we play as the Hollow Knight, exploring the ruins of the once great land of Hollow Nest, and it's fucking amazing! I mean, I could just score it right now, but I won't, for your sake. So starting off with the graphics, they are some of the most visually pleasing graphics in any 2D game to date. We are talking on the levels of Fez or Ori and the Blind Forest, absolutely stunning, and no game has ever toppled Fez's graphics in terms of beauty, in my opinion. However, there are no pixels to be found here. Everything is hand-drawn and animated vectors and backgrounds. Best comparison is Rayman 1 on the PlayStation 1. So you see, like, everything is hand-drawn in terms of the background and the foreground, but each of the foreground objects has been given even more shading, so it's very easy to tell what is a foreground object and what is part of the background. And the animations themselves are so fluid, and everything in terms of combat and platforming just flows so nicely from button press to button press, with it all running at a smooth 60 frames per second. And continuing on with the overall graphics, this team knew what they were doing when it comes to world design and area building. Each area has a perfect colour palette to match that area. Now, in terms of the world itself, we'll come back to it more in the story. All you need to know is it's like Dark Souls, a world of ruin and mystery. And like Dark Souls, despite the bleak looming death around you, each area has this beautiful palette and shading to go with it. Be it Dirtmouth and the Temple of the Black Egg, with its dull, placid blues and blacks, as that is the village that was close to the calamity, or the more vibrant Evergreen Path, where the destruction has long since passed and has been consumed by nature, with lush green vegetation and a plethora of colourful flowers now covering the ruins, to the murky and misty pinks and yellows of the Fog Canyon. And to go with this sombre yet beautiful world is the soundtrack of the year. I said in my Nier review that it was one of the soundtracks of the year, but nah, this gets it outright. Not only have they matched the music to the area down to a T, but all this shit you could listen to all day. I'm listening to this right now at midnight as I type it. There's just something relaxing about having the more somber tracks on in the midst of the darkness with only the faint glow of the monitor. I mean, just listen to them. Be it the ruins of Dirtmouth, to the lush overgrowth of evergreen, to the capital city of the City of Tears where the rain never ceases. to the even more lively tracks of the bosses, like the Dung Defender, and Hornet. Fucking great. It's the soundtrack of the year so far, and it's going to take a lot to topple it. Speaking of the bosses, like the Dung Defender, they're all really fun and great fights, and most of them, barring a few secret ones that I'll leave for now or not spoil, are introduced in such a great way and have such nice touches for beating them. Take the Mantis Lords for example. Through the path to them, we encounter loads of praying mantises, some on foot, some flying in the air, each with a set pattern of attacks. This lasts for the whole section, and when you get to the boss, they are hard, like they will kill you a few times, but all their attacks are just bigger versions of the smaller minions. The area and the minions taught you the pattern. Now you just have to put that same pattern you were taught in the area onto the boss, and with a bit of pattern recognition, they will go down. And the really cool thing, like the really awesome touch, is what you get for beating the main story bosses. Not so much in terms of a new power or trinket, but more the acknowledgement of your skill of that region. Remember having all them mantises that were trying to kill me on the way to the Mantis Lords? Well, I beat the Mantis Lords now, so now all of the Mantis Village bows to me. The AI knows you beat their leaders and respects your strength and skill as the player.
The dude was like, there's a city nearby, go figure it out. What are you doing there? Are they bowing to me? They're bowing to me and letting me pass because I am the Lord of the Mantises now. I understand.
As this game is somewhat hard, and it does take quite a bit of skill to kill a boss, but its reward, yes, with a new path and power, but also with all the enemies of that area becoming neutral. Like, you can still attack them if you need the money, but they won't attack you anymore unless provoked, and I love when games do that. Which moves us on to the story that I really won't spoil. Like Undertale, it's one of those that has to be played firsthand and reacted to blind for the best experience. If you need a brief elevator pitch of the story without spoiling too much for you all, as it's to do with the Mantis Lords, you know, just kind of like, hey, this is a little bit of a story pitch to get you involved, to get you invested into buying it without spoiling anything. We play as Hollow Knight, but very early on we meet a female insect that is a hornet. Shut up, she's hot. Shh, spoilers. But during our first encounter, Hornet says that we are nothing but a shadow, a stain upon this world, and begins fighting us for an unknown reason. Then later, we go to the Mantis Land and we beat the Mantis Lords, in which we are respected by the rest of the village. They will now bow to us as a mark of respect. But because you're all genocidal little charas, you'll kill them anyway. You'll kill them all because you want the money they hold. Then we go to the City of Tears and we find a statue that I won't show, but the statue says that we are not the Hollow Knight. And then we go into the city and there are innocent insects. Literally, fathers, mothers, children. But they have coins. So you murder them. You murder them innocent families that don't even fight back. Look, this guy's just running away. He doesn't want to fight. But you're going to murder them. Tear their flesh asunder with your blade just for their money. Then you realise what Hornet meant about us being a plague, a lingering shadow that means to be erased. I mean, we're killing families, innocent children, just for a bit of extra cash. They don't even fight back. Oh no. Am I really the monster that I was trying to kill all along? Oh shit. So it has this Undertale vibe to it, and you say you're the hero, but you are killing people and doing things not for them, but for your own selfish gain. And I'll say no more than that, but as the story goes on and we learn the twists and truths of this world, who we are and why it's in ruin, ooh, it's good! So yes, the story is very Undertale-like, and it has to be played blind for the best experience and reaction. As for the rest of the story elements, like the characters, they are great. Every single insect in this world has its own personality and sound, and each one, like Undertale, feels like a real character that really exists and is not just a bunch of ones and zeros. From the uninterested shopkeeper lady to the cheerful map-making husband of hers that is always humming a delightful tune, to our jaded, maybe rival, potentially girlfriend Hornet, to the ecstatic hyper dung defender. I mean, listen to this boss. He's a boss with intent to do you harm. Listen to how happy he is to finally find someone that will be a true test of his skills. And it really does add to making this world feel real. And it works from the colourful cast we meet. While in a Dark Souls-like world of ruin, the cast does a fantastic job of keeping you immersed in their world, wanting you to explore deeper into the caverns, not only to uncover the mysteries of the world, but to see what area will be next, or what it will look like, or what fun character you might encounter next. You know, if Star's dimensional scissors were real, I would love to visit Hollow Nest. Again, despite the ruin, much like Dark Souls, it's a beautifully crafted world that makes you want to keep coming back just for the fun characters and the stunning world they've created. You want to explore, you want to go deeper into the caverns, you want to see what lies next, who you're going to meet next, and in doing so, I found the most beautiful fucking best area of the game in my opinion, which I won't show too much of because it's really fucking awesome, which is the Hive. All of that really cool gold and hexagonal, yes my queen, anything for the Hive. As for the gameplay itself, it's Metroid. Not just a Metroidvania, it is 100% Metroid in its purest form. Everything is Metroid. Hollow Nest is the spiritual successor to Zebes. Like Zebes, Hollow Nest is one big world divided into different areas like Deep Nest, the City of Tears, the Forgotten Crossroads, etc. And it's one giant maze with interconnecting pathways to each area. And like Metroid, around this maps are benches, and when you touch one, you'll rest up, fully recovering all of your health and a bit of spirit, like the charging stations within the various Metroid planets. But more importantly, like Metroid, secrets. Secrets galore. So many secrets. There are hidden walls and paths to find that lead to treasure, or if they are a secret or new path in plain sight, you might not be able to get to it right away as you don't have the right power yet. That big gap, you need the air dash. Rumble on the ground, you need the down strike. Each power allowing you to get more secrets and power-ups like the mask shards for extra hit points and such. And there are even more secrets just randomly scattered throughout all of Hollow Nest. Like one I found was this bicycle wheel tree. I had no idea what they did. I can hit it, nothing. I can't do anything with it. There must be some kind of secret. I mean, they're pretty obvious. This is right out in the open. It must be pretty obvious that it does something. Then, later on in the game, I find a new power, and bang! Hit that bicycle wheel tree. Oh shit! Wheels everywhere. And there are so many secrets like that to discover. I found things that even I still don't know what they do. Maybe I'm missing an optional boss with a secret power to do something, as nothing I do right now is working, and there are quite a few optional bosses. Now, one thing I will say is I've been comparing this to Dark Souls a lot. The ruined world, your ass waking up in the ruined world with no memory of who you are, all very Dark Souls-esque. And I will say this, as the difficulty is on par with Dark Souls. However, people always misconstrue this due to how it's marketed. Let me make this clear. Dark Souls is a hard game, yes, but only for every first encounter. Hollow Knight is much like Dark Souls. This game is hard. Every new enemy and boss you come across is going to paste your ass up and down Hollow Nest a few times. Like Dark Souls, you must be prepared to die. But like Dark Souls, it's only because the same rules apply. It's not a game where you can mash the attack button and hope to win. It's a game of skill. You have to learn when is the best time to attack, when is the best time to correctly dodge, when is the best time to heal in a fight before the boss launches another attack. Hollow Knight rewards skillful play and pattern memorization and punishes those who rush. Those who rush in, guns blazing, are going to get smacked down. Those who wait, watch the enemy, see what attacks it has, and learn how to get round them attacks will be rewarded. This might sound quite the put-off, but it's really not. The more willing you are to hold fire and learn, the quicker you will master it. Like Dark Souls, it's true, you are going to die, and you must be prepared to die. But, like Dark Souls, it's not the dying. It's having the will to get back up, dust yourself off, and kick the shit out of whatever's in your way. And each time you die, 1 second later, each extra hit you land, each new attack you dodge, it brings you one step closer every time. And when you finally do land that finishing blow and you watch the boss fall, you feel so proud of yourself. Like, you feel really fucking good. As there was nothing cheap about the boss. There was no healing spam or mashing attack like a madman. It was your own pattern recognition and skill that allowed you to win. And I love games like that a lot more. It's a graceful dance of skill. Both you and the boss picking the right time to attack, dodge or heal, rather than Kingdom Hearts bullshit with some of the organisation members like Data Vexen or the Soldier of the Wasteland, where you just mash the attack in final form and hope it dies before it gets pissed off. Or if he does get pissed off, hope you can heal spam, and hope you can heal spam through his bullshit. Because of this, some of the bosses in Kingdom Hearts feel far harder than anything in Dark Souls or Hollow Knight. Some critical spam, some summon extra bullshit, some cast really unfair bullshit cheap magic. Like the Soldier of the Wasteland's Fall, which outright messes with your commands and if you press it wrong, insta-death, or Xemnas in the Hollow Bastion with his heart zappy thing that also fucks with your commands, or Kurt Ziza that just outright stops you from using magic. Really unfair, cheap, nasty tactics to put the player at an extremely unfair disadvantage. Whereas in Dark Souls, or seems we're reviewing it, Hollow Knight, no boss is cheap or unfair. Every boss is a challenge, yes, but every attack can be dodged, every move can be countered, and if the boss is going to beat you, it can do it from its own skill alone, not some cheap trick, which is why you feel so much better in the end. You put your skill against the boss and you won through skill alone. Not this. Not, I used a bug or exploit to beat this boss because it's so fucking cheap. And even the developers have publicly stated that they have a hard to near impossible time with the Soldier of the Wasteland. Look, Nomura, okay, I'm doing the Kingdom Hearts, I'm playing through Kingdom Hearts 2 right now, so this is why it's relevant. But listen, Nomura, right, this is a fucking, I'm not a game programmer and I could make a better boss than you. Because here's boss making 101, right? Here's boss making 101. If your development team, okay, if the people that actually make the game, can't beat the boss, and professional high-level gamers have to find this cheap strategy because the cheap strategy is the only way to beat the fucker, you're done fucked up. It's not a fair fight. You're using cheap fucking shitty tactics. Don't fucking put the boss in if your development team can't even beat it.
I can pass on the knowledge of suffering that I have, well, suffered. So, okay. First of all, I recommend getting a defense boost from Zigver's organization data, and loads of attack boosts from Xemnas's organization data, because without them, you will die. I also recommend you are level 99, otherwise, you will die. Okay, do you understand that? I think you do. Good.
So, with all this being said, my final verdict for Hollow Knight is a 5 out of 5.
It's perfect.
I could not have said it myself, baby. I mean, there is 2 speedrun achievements, and in fact, I would love to sit here and be like, it's absolutely fucking retarded, it's retarded Hollow Knight dev team, if you're listening, remove their achievements. Speedruns for the general public is fucking shit and no one wants to do them. Speedruns are supposed to be optional for those that want to do them and not a fucking achievement. Remove them, please, and thank you. And normally I would mark a game down for it. Your game has a speedrun achievement. That's an instant point off right there, as there is no excuse, and I should be taking a point off you right now. But somehow, the devs are fucking sidekick and foresaw my incoming rant and preemptive my argument with the counter argument, and that was the way that the game is designed. You see, the 2 speedruns are beat the game in 10 hours and beat the game in 5 hours. But, says Team Cherry, like Breath of the Wild, you can go right to the final boss. All you need are the 3 keys to his door. So, in reality, like Breath of the Wild, you can beat the game in 30 minutes. If you're good enough. The extra 4.5 hours are just there to give you all the time you need to get all the equipment you think you will need. But, like Breath of the Wild, if you want to grab the 3 keys, then run to the final boss, no armor upgrades, no sword upgrades, no HP or magic upgrades, you know, a level 1 naked run, then you can do so. Well, shit. That shoots my argument down, as they're right. If you go for the final boss straight away from the start, you can get to him before even an hour has passed. So even on the tighter speedrun of 5 hours, you still got 4 hours to spare. So it's less of a speedrun and more of a Unchained Armor run of, can you beat him with more limited upgrades and equipment? Take notes, other devs. If you call it a speedrun, A, you should not be doing it in the first place, but if you have to, but I really, really say don't do it because it's not fucking fun, like Team Cherry, please give an extra 3 or 4 or even more hours lenience, not a few cocking minutes way forward, and especially Yacht Club games. But, that fucking stupidity aside, there's nothing else I can complain about. There is so much good here, so much good, that it just built that point back. You made a fantastic game, a game with an extremely beautiful art style and soundtrack that fits that world perfectly, a world filled with a colourful cast of characters that make you feel welcome and want to get immersed within the world, and a story on the level of Undertale, to the point that as a reviewer I'm not even going to spoil the story because it's that good, with perfectly fluent and tight controls that feel natural to the player whether they've played the game or not, much like Spectre of Torment. The difficulty might be a turn off to people, but I say don't let it be. It's a learning process. You will feel so good and proud of yourself with each obstacle you surmount. It's tough, I'm not going to lie, but it's fair. Extremely fair. Like Super Meat Boy, every death was my fault. There was nothing cheap. If I died because of my fuck up. I didn't jump correctly. I didn't dodge correctly. I failed to heal at the right time. Not a cheap attack or trap. And that is how you know you did the difficulty right. You know, as a developer, you did the difficulty right if the player is fully and willingly blames themselves for every failure, which I do. Every time I died, it was my fault. Not some stupid, cheap, shitty, little fucking boss like Xemnas in the Hollow Bastion or the Soldier of the Wastelands. But to you, Team Cherry, you did it right. And for the final cherry on top, to you, Team Cherry, congratulations. You have made the perfect spiritual successor to Metroid. It's clear it's its own thing, but being the current status of things, you've given Metroid fans what they've wanted for years now. A new, pure, true Metroid game. And this is what this is. If you are a fan of Super Metroid or AM2R or Metroid Fusion, you will love this game to no end. And what makes it even better is I get to rub this in Nintendo's face. How does it feel, Kimishima? Reggie? That a simple team has made a far better Metroid game than you have in over 10 years. Oh, and unlike AM2R, you can't cease and desist this one. So tough luck. But yeah, it's an amazing game, and I know where this is going on my top and bottom 5. Well, so far. Although, all this talk of insects, and the insect kingdom, and me dressed up as Dragger and Flick's cute little bee, I can't help but feel like I missed something. Yeah, couldn't have been important. Oh shit, yeah, that's right, Ubisoft's Wild Ride. It's a very, very boring, really fucking boring, bland open world with some shitty gunplay. Yahtzee said it best.
So all in all, complete flatline. I hope you're satisfied, Ubisoft, because you've destroyed sandbox games. Homefront The Revolution didn't manage that. Merely bad sandboxes at least throw the decent ones into sharp relief, but you did it by grinding them out month after month until they were nothing but tedious to-do lists with all the bumps sanded off.
Which it completely does. Like, it's that fucking boring. So yeah, it's shit, 1 out of 5. Don't bother with it. Fuck Ubisoft. Anyway, I have to go and make some more honey for King Flick and Queen Dragger. So I'll see all of you next time. Buzz, 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 buzz.